Well, Paul's sort of still here in a strange kind of way, but again, like as always, you could watch this or you might not watch this, but the whole purpose of it is to try and help you. And this topic is all about I'm still upset. And why am I doing this one? Because the upset is part of the emotional position that can sometimes overtake. And I've been upset a lot, and just to describe to you, I had to cry so much I just couldn't stop crying, and it starts to take over you a bit. But being Paul and just sharing with Sarah, or anyone who needs it, in fact, but it's mainly for you, as if it is this situation where you just can't stop the upsetness. It's part of an emotional bit. And with the emotional bit, we always had the position that I stand guard to the door of my mind. And you're allowed in for a bit. Because the emotion is not necessarily a negative thing. It's just getting across the message that you truly did love something or someone, and it's changed and you wanted to have it. But in the way we believe about things, you are going to see him again, right? If that's where you want to go with it, because you are going to see him. He's still there. It's just there's a slight delay. And when I balance this thing of being, feeling frustrated and upset and so upset, and if I keep going on about it and I keep going with it, it gets worse and it gets worse and it gets worse. So I've got to keep control of the emotion, because it's a good thing in a way that I'm upset. Because the truth is that I did love that person so much, and there's so many other people who might not be as upset as you are because you love them so much. And that's, if the other way around it was with me, I would definitely be in the same position, that the emotion starts to take over me all the time. However, we've got a balance here, and the emotion is allowed in, because, as I say, if it wasn't there and I wasn't upset, did I really care about that person very much? Maybe that was a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but for me personally, it would be that it wouldn't go away, it would keep coming in. So it's allowed in for a bit, but only for a bit. And why and how do I kick it out? Well, part of the emotional side is I understand what you're saying, emotion. But I've got forwardness to think about, and I know you're here and you're going to keep coming in, you're allowed in, but at the same time you have to leave now. And why do you have to leave now? Because this is the real situation. It's not a thought process anymore, it's the real situation. This is not negative. Why isn't it negative? Because I've spent all my experience and my time that I've had in this adventure, for me, is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And if it had finished sooner than this, in a horrible way, it would be worse than it's finished like this has now, in a reasonable way. I wanted it to finish later, in a better way, but it wasn't the worst one. It's just this current position. So what I need to focus on, I know you're understanding, you're coming through and you're building the emotion in. I'm getting that message across, you understand what you're saying. But I've got to think of other things, because other positive things that are going to start happening for me. Why? Well, because you as a person are one of the most incredible people in the world. Not just from me personally, how attractive you are, from a personal presentation to your personality is just absolutely amazing. You are worth your weight in gold and everything, because it's so incredible. But things have just changed for you, and you need to think, okay, well, as things go forward, I still want a nice feeling, I still want to continue with it. So this emotional position is okay to be here now for a bit. But did you know this kind of emotion? Were you aware of this kind of emotion? Did you know why I'm going to say this kind of emotion? It's because I'm in charge, in a very nice way. Thank you for your input, thank you for your help, but I'm in charge. And what's going to happen in the near future for me things will get better and better and better and better. And when that timeline extends and I start looking back, I'm going to start thinking, well, this is me. Definitely me. I was thinking, that was the most incredible experience in my life. Whatever has now come up might be great as well, but I'm not turning it down. That was incredible in my life. This is all I'm going to say on this one, because this emotional thing has actually took over with me today, and it was very cheeky, and it's trying to keep me worrying and crying and thinking about things. But, you know, me and Sarah are together. And the reason I've done what I'm doing now is to try and help her if she's thinking this way. If it was me, I'd be thinking the same, but I'm going to stop now. And there are other ones like this, but it's just the way it works with me. It's starting to realise that Paul's in charge, and so is Sarah, because both of us are going to win. So again, it's up to you, but I'm going to leave this where it is. Have a lovely day. There's so much more positive coming down. It just hasn't arrived yet. Stay with it. I love you so much.